Today on the show Radical Ones, we continue our Nightmare on Elm Street summer with 1994's Wes Craven's A New Nightmare.
Is Freddy really dead?
Of course he is. Freddy's dead and gone.
It's time to get radical.
Krueger! Well, it ain't Dr. Seuss.
Well, what are you reading that for?
I'm into survival.
You want to know who Fred Krueger was?
This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV.
Freddy's coming for you, radical ones. It's Radical Retro Rewind Nightmare on Elm Street Summer.
Welcome back, Radical Ones, to another episode of Radical Retro Rewind Podcast. As always, I am your host, Radical Ryan Hunter, here with Rob, the movie geek himself, for the return of our Nightmare on Elm Street summer. Last week, Rob, we had Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, and I really think Rob's summary at the end put everything together, because I'm editing it right now, Radical Ones, and that is all over the place. We go back and forth. We go from Breckenmeyer to Maggie killing Freddy, back to Breckenmeyer. It was crazy. It was crazy. Just like the movie. So I don't know if anyone got anything out of Freddy's Dead.
Yeah.
But here we are.
The details of the episodes are kept under wraps. It travels through many briefcases, bodyguards. I have absolutely no idea what the footage sounds like. Apparently, I should have been there, but I am going to be listening for the first time, just like all of you, when Friday hits. Or I guess when this episode comes out, I would have already heard it. But yeah, looking forward to it. That sucks. It's too bad. It's the last one. That should have been a really...
I think the height of the review is when I compared her to Gal Gadot, Maggie. Kal-El, no. Freddy's Dead. That was, I think, the height of the review. Okay. And after that, I'm not sure. But we also spoke about Jason's return. And I wanted to get Rob's take on this, because after 16 years, after the lawsuit, after everything, all the drama, Jason is back. Sponsored by Angry Orchard hard cider. It was so funny. Off camera, I had asked Rob, and I was like, did you watch the Angry Orchard thing? And he was like, why? Yeah, there was apple. There was a lot of apples.
I love it. Look, I have been influenced by commercials and ads before. I'm not saying it's a lost cause. They work sometimes depending on the product. Do I want to buy Angry Orchard now because they were featured in this short film? Absolutely not. But I will buy an Angry Orchard because they decided to sponsor a horror short film to the best of its ability. And I will put money towards any support of horror. So I don't know if their ad is working on me the way that they want it to, but I'm sorry. For me, I'm gonna be like, look, if I buy Angry Orchard, am I gonna die like them? If anything, this ad is working like against them. I would be scared to buy Angry Orchard. I don't want to end up like them, but I did watch it, and I do enjoy Angry Orchards. I drink those well, I don't drink them a lot, but if you give me a choice to have something casual and a little alcohol or whatever, I will always choose that over White Claw, or what's the other one, Smirnoff, or anything like that. Like, I'm an Angry Orchard guy, and that's what's also funny is, like, I don't even like cider. Like, cider in itself, I don't like apple cider.
I'm such I'm a practical magic boy, I guess. So I'm apple cidery, but yeah,
I can't. But the Angry Orchards, oh yes, I will buy those even without this ad. But I did notice that in there, but I didn't know that they were sponsored. So when you called it the Angry Orchard thing, I thought you were just making fun of them. It's like, no, it actually was sponsored. That is wild. I love it.
Well, this excites you? There's like an Angry Orchard Halloween pack with a Jason Voorhees
that's amazing
version of something. So I'm even tempted. And, I'm not really a drinker, but I'm like, you know what?
No,
Jason Voorhees can.
That's funny. Well, I just don't know where they're gonna go with this. I mean, we went to space. Where are we supposed to go?
An apple farm, evidently. Because
I mean, they're gonna have to remake it. I don't know how a sequel would work unless they really decided to go in a new direction. But again, he was in space. He came down like a meteor. I really don't think they're going to go with that look. It's obviously not going to be canon. They'll have to reboot some of the franchise somehow.
Right.
With that being said, this particular short, this is what I will say. What I would love, which is never going to happen because the focus would not be on Jason, but just think about Romero's zombie movies, right? How the apocalypse is always a catalyst, a medium, a way to drive a specific story along with a theme. Can you imagine having multiple Jason movies that don't necessarily connect, but each one has a theme? And this was a great example for revenge.
Great idea.
And I make them anthology as God intended when it first came out. Yes, Jason would still be the driving force to release all of whatever it is that the topic is about, but let Jason be in the middle. I would love stories like that because I still got what I needed from Jason, and he didn't have to be the main villain in order for the story to drive. We still had to deal with dumb humans doing stupid things. But this is also what I actually, so I'll go on record and say I actually enjoyed this short. It wasn't too long, thank God. But the thing is that they alluded that Crystal Lake is Pet Cemetery.
Speaking of one of our kids today in the movie. Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, they didn't throw it in your face, but they hinted at the fact that the water is what turned Jason into Jason, and it did the same thing to this girl, and she decided to kill on instinct and reaction to her deep feeling and desire, which was, how dare this heifer be with my man? And he obviously got the worst of it, but yeah, that was a great effect.
Very Jason.
Yeah, and we're probably spoiling it for you, so I do apologize. I kind of just went wild with my take on this, but it's 15 minutes. Watch it. I think it's well worth it. I think the production was good. They brought back the music. They even had the sign. Yes. The sign, I don't know if it was original or authentic or they made it from scratch, but it looked fantastic. I guess it was supposed to be a surprise that they went there. I don't know. The reveal it felt like a reveal. Like, oh, they actually went to the actual lake, Home dude, I don't know what he was doing there, doing an Airbnb there, but
carving apples. He had apples. He was an apple farmer.
Yeah, that is a very interesting take on the lore, is that the water is the cause of all of this. And if you die in the water, that could be what sets it off. And I am not mad at that. And I love that it was her instead of a guy.
And okay, so I asked this of David, the friend of the girl, was dressed like 80s, right?
Yes, there was a little bit of a homage or some kind of Easter egg on making her look like a counselor or just somebody who dresses for camp in that era. Yes, she definitely played the part. I mean, trust me, I would probably be doing the same ththing if I went camping, which will be never, but I would have done it. I would have dressed exactly like that. I would have had on my baseball tee and my, little short shorts or whatever, and my knee-high striped socks. I don't care.
Oh, you have to have the knee-high socks.
Yes,
you have to do the socks. But to Rob's point, give us an anthology. This one's in the 80s. This one's in the 70s. This one's in 2010. So let's see what happens. I guess our next foray would be the Camp Crystal Lake TV series.
Yes.
That's currently filming.
Mm-hmm. I'm still a little confused on the timeline, but maybe I could be wrong. People tell me. I don't know if I ever got an official confirmation, but was Jason a grown man in part 1? Because if not, then I'm going to be very confused over this series unless they do a time jump. But hopefully I get the series that I want. Because basically what should be happening is we should be getting an episodic storyline of what happened when mom officially went crazy.
Yes.
That's what I want to see. We saw 2 kids get killed in the very beginning of this movie. I want to know that story. That's what I am expecting to see. So we'll see what they do with it.
Mark it, common mark. Okay, and action.
It's 7 films later. The actors are assembled.
Shot.
The effects artists are hard at work.
A little bit more blood. More blood.
Wes Craven is making a new Nightmare on Elm Street.
And cut. Print that, Gretchen.
But this time, the world he's creating seems to be coming true.
He's decided to cross over.
Freddy Krueger returns.
Out of films, into our reality.
And he wants more than revenge.
Maybe you should tell me your dream.
Miss me. He wants life.
Nancy.
It's been giving me Freddy nightmares.
Freddy. As in me.
Is it a movie?
How would you like to join us in the definitive nightmare?
I thought you killed Freddy off.
1, 2.
Freddy's coming for you.
Until Mommy gets back, don't fall asleep.
Is it a dream? Or is it real? Ever played Skin the Cat?
Freddy's got my baby! He's got my Dylan!
For everyone who ever believed Freddy's dead, prepare yourselves for the real story. Wes Craven's
The story for a movie.
New Nightmare. Feature Maker.
In 1994, Freddy had been dead for a little while. This is Wes Craven's New Nightmare, simply known as New Nightmare. It was written and directed by Wes Craven. It is not part of the continuity of the previous films. Instead, it portrays Freddy Krueger as a fictional movie villain who invades the real world and haunts the cast and crew involved in making a film about him. In the film, Freddy is depicted as closer to what Craven originally intended, being more of a menacing force and less comical. Also, there's an updated attire and appearance. The film stars Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, Mike Hughes, and John Saxton. Also, Rob, fun fact, this is Robert's favorite Nightmare film.
Ooh.
It does say, I think it stands the test of time, a fun reunion with the original cast members like Heather and John. Wes's script is clever and original and a self-referencing horror story. Right off the bat, I do love this one, Rob. I love it so much.
It is really good.
do.
It is really good. It's poetic, to be honest. I mean,
Poetic.
To give Heather and the character of Nancy a trilogy, this closing, we know that Other Death, as I said before, was rushed and dumb and stupid and just not in favor of what she represents. And as I'm older, I really appreciate that they found a way to include her again. And I just think this was so genius in the way that everything is considered a meta thing.
Yes,
and I'm sure that there are movies that have done this before, but honestly, this was my first sort of exposure to this type of storytelling. You know, I use movies as an escape, and this is my way of just being in other worlds and other, you know, fantasies, imagination, and everything is make-believe, yada, yada. We know movies are fake. Now you're telling me that in a movie, there is another movie that is fake. And what I'm sorry, my teenage mind was blown to bits with this, because it's like, how cheesy can you get when you've killed off a character, but yet you want more money, you greedy bastards, and you have to figure out a way to bring him back. And I just think this comeback is just such an amazing idea. And ever since then, I've always been a fan of meta work. It's just so much fun in the continuity, the callbacks, the Easter eggs, but also just being able to have fun and even play characters of yourself. It's just, I just love meta stuff, and I'm just so appreciative of this movie. And I will say this was not my favorite when I first saw it. I did not walk out of that theater being like, what did I just watch? I was actually very disappointed that we didn't even get Freddy.
Ooh.
And Miko was really pissing me off, constantly yelling and being in his sleepwalking state. Like, how many times is he going to have a bad nightmare? Like, we get it. I didn't hate it. I just did not give the props on like what in a writer's perspective on what this movie did. And as I got older, and especially when I bought the box set and watched it again, like, I just couldn't believe how genius this is. And I, like, when I did Fear Bias, I think that was my official on record, the world knows, like, Wes Craven's New Nightmare is my, like, it's that, because I thought about going on to that episode and we were ranking all of them and kind of briefly talking about the whole series, and I was like, I'm gonna walk away and being like, yeah, the original is the best, it's the original, like, how can you, it's the scariest, blah, blah, blah. And then by the end of the discussion, I'm like, oh my god, it really is part 7. It really is Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Yeah, I think you remember this, because we had that segment where we had to convince the other of changing our minds or whatever.
I do remember this.
It just popped in my head. I was like, I was assigned part 1, he was assigned part 7, and we had to go on debate and see who we can convince the other and see like who agrees with whoever. And he convinced me on the mic that parts it's just good. It really is the best, I think.
5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, better stay up late.
Dylan, don't sing that song.
To speak of the meta-ness of it, Rob, people call it a dress rehearsal for Scream, of course, because here we go. Before this was, Wes used so many meta horror ideas with this. And then, of course, Scream came out. It's still screaming. We're waiting for the next.
You can, if you listen to the credits of part 1, a lot of the music from New Nightmare is in Scream.
No kidding.
So go to the end of the credits. And everybody is like introducing themselves or whatever. And then when the word Scream comes up, the music from New Nightmare is in it. It's either part 1 or part 2, but I think it's part 1. I was like, this music sounds so familiar. He used this in Scream. And you want to know who else, since we're on the subject, there is a cameo appearance. And I only say that is because most people will have seen Scream before New Nightmare. So I'll call it a cameo. Right. Do you remember when Heather goes to the morgue? She checks on Chase to, verify the body. And the morgue the morgue assistant, the guy who was revealing and was like, can you sign this? And I don't know if you remember him exactly. Put on a beard on him, a hat, some donuts, 50-second delay. That's Kenny the cameraman.
No kidding. That's why he looked familiar.
Kennedy. So Wes keeps it in the family. Yeah, he was in New Nightmare.
I love that when filmmakers do that. They have like their staple of people that they call on.
Well, they said the truck was tore up something awful, so you can imagine him not being in, well, exactly top shape.
There's so many callbacks, like you said, into this movie. I love that one of the first things we see is a bike in the house. How many times have we seen that damn bike? I mean, it's not the bike, the little red bike, but a bike in the house. This whole entire movie, it's quaking, literally, earthquakes. And can I tell you that, I don't know if it's considered part of the aftershock, but that one early on when it's an aftershock and it slices the wall into the claw shape. I mean, I'm just like, mwah. I think as you realize filmmaking more as you get older, and it's not just like you said, you're watching as a teen, so genius, such little callbacks. I mean, throughout the entire film, but this is so early on and it's like, wow.
It's another earthquake, Dylan. Getting kind of fun, huh?
The earthquake stuff. So I just want to preface for anyone who is thinking about visiting California, let alone LA, and is afraid they're going to have that many earthquakes in a matter of 2 hours that we got in this
5
movie.
days of earthquakes.
I just that does not happen. It does not happen, especially of that high level of magnitude. Never in my life have I experienced an earthquake like that in LA, and I've been here for 10 years. Not to say that it is impossible, but that was insane. So 2 things. I did look up the location of the house. If it is supposed to match exactly where this movie takes place, her house is in Tarzana, California, which I have no idea where that is. It's nowhere near LA. But if Tarzana is known to have those amount of earthquakes at that magnitude, then you know what? Wes did his research and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. But to be fair, most of those earthquakes, I think, were in her dreams or something, because they didn't happen as often.
Yes.
So I'm a little unsure exactly how many they actually had and what affected the house. Was she the only one seeing the claws in her walls? Because I would have had that fixed a long time ago. So I even wonder if that was even there to begin with. She may be the only one who sees her house getting torn apart. But
she did mention that earthquake. It was from the earthquake earlier, and the woman looked, the doctor.
We also wonder if this was a callback to what Tina was saying, because when earthquakes are around, that's when strange stuff seems to happen. So this is full circle as to why this is happening now. But
you're right.
I was reading up, and a lot of people are sort of thinking that these earthquakes was his way of getting into the world, and they got worse and worse as he was getting closer. But there was the reunion dream where he was even startled that there was an earthquake. So I don't know if it had anything to do with him. So the earthquake thing is a little weird, but I took it as that. What did you think about those?
Like Rob said, the earthquake in the movie was written into the script, but they had already filmed that big quake scene, but a real one happened, the Northbridge earthquake in January of 1994. So they got to incorporate footage of the actual aftermath. That's one of those things that work out in your favor. Because we just jump into it in the actual movie, we open up with that dream. I too was confused of what was really happening in Heather's house. By the way, before I forget, do you think that's her real style? Or they just got the richest, bougiest looking house for Heather, and they're just like, Heather, this is gonna be you. This is you.
It's interesting. You know, you assume that every actor, regardless of how popular they are, they have money. They have tons saved up. They're getting residuals. Like, they're living the life, right? I'm not going to speak on Heather's career and how rich she is. It's interesting because the house was nice, but then she's driving a Volvo, and I'm just like, I don't get the correlation. Maybe she's trying to humble herself.
She's real.
I stay grounded as the amounts roll in. I'm real. I thought I told you.
She's real. I thought that was an interesting choice. So I don't know. I don't think she's bougie at all. I just think that actors most likely will choose a location that's just sort of away from the public eye. And, you know, they don't necessarily live in the city that much. If they do, then they have ways of keeping themselves private. But yeah. The neighborhood looked nice.
The neighborhood looked nice. And she is also, by the way, getting these calls from a stalker.
Hello?
1, 2.
Hello?
Freddy's coming for you!
Which I guess we find out is the demon Freddy essence calling her.
Is that what's happening? I did not get that. We still don't know who's calling. I'm still.
It's Robert. It's
My money is on Robert, to be honest. But it could be anybody. It really could. But I honestly did think it was him, just sort of slowly losing it, to be honest.
Okay, because, I mean, clearly it's his voice, right?
It sounds a lot like him for sure.
We don't see him at the same time as any of these things are happening, really.
So we can get into it. So okay, so I do love the attention to detail that the moment that he leaves town,
yes,
is when we officially get Freddy in full-blown camera. Like, he finally appears. And so there is a possible explanation for that. Do you believe that when Freddy officially came into our world, or just the fact of making himself known, do you feel that that was Robert Englund sort of possessed by the demon? Or do you think that Robert Englund was killed in order for the demon to officially come out?
Ooh.
Well, because think about this. Heather needed to accept her role as Nancy.
Yes.
John also needed to, well, not accept his role, but he was
He played her father.
He was brought back into the whole thing of it all and turned back into Donald. Why is Robert Englund sort of like, why is he missing? Why doesn't he have a part in this? And so you gotta wonder, did he also have to play a part? Did he need to die or have some kind of role into everything else playing out for itself? Everybody else had to do it. Why isn't he? So it's just interesting that didn't happen. Like, you just wonder if, the demon had to take him out first. So I don't know.
He was painting Freddy. He had that whole moment where he looked up and he was just like, oh yeah, having nightmares where Freddy is more realistic.
Yeah.
Robert.
Heather, you doing all right?
Hanging in there. You know the guy that was calling me all the time? He started again. And he's putting stuff in my mail again.
Oh, listen, the SOB probably read about the funeral in the papers or something.
Sick mother. It's the last thing you need right now, I'm sure.
Actually, it's been giving me Freddy nightmares.
Wait a second. Now, let me get this straight. You're having nightmares about
Freddy? As in me?
No, it isn't you. He's scarier. He's...
darker. More evil?
Yeah. How did you know?
Call it a guess.
Pretty damn good guess.
But you know how, like, if a zombie turns and you kill the zombie, you don't just kill the zombie and it goes back to human. Like, technically, Heather could have killed Robert Englund at the same time as killing the demon.
Imagine.
I know.
Which, if when we get into the fan film sequel that was made, maybe that could have happened.
I don't know. We don't know.
I mean, I thought of it this time too, especially since he just he went on vacation. I'm on vacation. Matter of fact, the voicemail was hysterical. He changed his voice. His not voicemail, it was an answer machine at the time, but if it's because they needed him to be in makeup, like for technical reasons, like halfway through the film, it worked in its favor because it was mysterious as well.
Hi, you've reached the Englund residence. We're out of town right now. You can leave a message if you wish, but we'll be gone for some time.
You did mention this. Can I tell you, I laughed to myself when Wes Craven was talking to, Heather Langenkamp about saying, like, you have to return to Nancy for this stuff to end. And I'm like, sure, Wes, get her to come back that way. Like, you know what? Girl, you want your dreams to end, these nightmares? You need to come back to this movie franchise.
Wes is an asshole. I can't believe he just forced her to do this movie. I'm going to put you and your son's life in danger. I'm going to kill your husband, and you're going to do another freaking movie. That's what's going to happen.
Why me?
Well, dramatically speaking, it makes perfect sense. You played Nancy after all, and you were the first to humiliate him, defeat him.
That was Nancy, Wes. It's not me.
Yeah, but it was you that gave Nancy her strength. So, in order to get out, he's got to come through you. And it's inevitable that he's going to try to do that at your most vulnerable points. I think the only way to stop him is to make another movie. Now, I swear to you, I'm going to stay by this computer and keep writing until I finish the script, but when that time comes, you're going to have to make a choice.
Choice? What kind of choice?
Whether or not you're willing to play Nancy one last time.
But that's the thing about it. It's interesting that all that needed to happen was a script to be made instead of the actual movie being made. Can you imagine if you had to relive all of this? But yeah, the script just needed to be written. That's all it was. And it wouldn't have stopped. But he just writes a little thank you note in pencil for all, like at the end, like, thank you for playing her. Yeah, also you lost your husband on top of that. He is an ass.
Not even a flower. Yeah, not even a flower arrangement.
Oh, poor thing.
Heather, thanks for having the guts to play Nancy one last time. At last, Freddy's back where he belongs. Regards, Wes.
Oh, I gotta say this. Wes had a soap opera moment when he was explaining what was going on.
Oh God.
And he was like, she was like, Wes, you knew? And he was like, I didn't think anything was good. And then he walks off into another room. I'm like, dude, where do you think
his whole life for this moment?
Are you distraught? You need to leave, go to another mark because you're just so
Right.
You're just so in despair. I got to get up off the couch. Had it been me, I've been like, I'm not moving. I'm not following you. You're going to come right back into this room and talk to me. I'm not following you into another room just because you're like, oh.
The drama, Rob.
The drama.
Yes.
Kudos for him. He was acting. He was trying to act. I love it. He just looks so defeated. Like, I can't believe this is happening.
I can tell you what the nightmare's about so far. It's about this entity, whatever you want to call it. It's old. It's very old. It's existed in different forms in different times. About the only thing about it that stays the same is what it lives for, really.
What is that?
Oh, the murder of innocence.
Look, this is still a script we're talking about, right, Wes?
Yeah, well, I sort of think of it as a nightmare in progress.
Well, in this nightmare in progress, then, does this thing have any weaknesses?
Oh, well, it can be captured sometimes.
Captured? How?
And by storytellers, of all things. I mean, every so often they imagine a story good enough to sort of catch its essence, and then, for a while, it's held prisoner in the story.
Like the genie in the bottle.
Exactly. But the problem comes when the story dies. And that can happen in a lot of ways. It can get too familiar to people, or somebody waters it down to make it an easier sell, you know? Or maybe it's just so upsetting to society that it's banned outright. However it happens, when the story dies, the evil is set free.
And also, what Rob sent me earlier, when they have that meta commentary on the franchise itself.
Yeah, on why the demon was released. Yeah, they watered it down. Oh, that is amazing.
I'm so glad he got that in. I'm so glad the limo driver.
But it's also funny, like, Bob Shea was cool with this. New Line was cool with him saying a line like that. Like, they were so chill about it.
New Line and that office where Freddy they needed even more. I wanted more than the Freddy pop art and the figures. I wanted everything. I wanted the Nintendo game. I wanted a cardboard cutout there.
You mentioned the limo driver.
The limo driver, speaking of the voice, was that at one point Robert too?
Leave us alone, you son of a bitch!
LA limousine, ma'am. Just wanted you to know I'm out front.
I don't know. I was getting like they were throwing you off a million times. Is it the limo driver? Is it him? Is it Robert? Is it Freddy? But he mentions the first one was the best and they shouldn't have killed off Freddy. So he gets in two as well.
Yeah.
Also, are you her? I'm assuming anyone who's ever been in something has had that happen to them, right?
Oh,
Are
for
you?
sure.
Is that you?
Oh, for sure. I love it. The limo driver, the actor, he's actually featured in the Never Sleep Again documentary. He gets his own segment on just like how he was cast. You need to watch. I'm so shocked.
5 hours? Is it 5 hours?
You can just watch it in segments. That's the thing. They do it in chapters. Right. So if you need a break, just stop once they get to a new film. But like, I've watched it 3 times already. It's so good. It is so good.
Before the end of the summer.
I'm in the middle of the Jason one. I got to part 6, I think, 6 or 7. So I still need to finish it, but it's
evidently,
really good.
Tuesday Night hates that documentary because she says that she was held hostage to do it by the person while she was battling cancer, and she says this is her words saying it. She looks fat and bloated, and she hates that.
That's
and
too
she
bad.
hates it.
That's too bad. Aww. Well, speaking of cameos,
Tuesday Night.
Oh my god, that funeral scene was everything. Everything. It was the appearance of John for the first time. We also we got to see the dad, because honestly I had no expectations on what we were supposed to get, but like the dad shows up and we see Tuesday Night right next to him, to Wes. It took me a second. I had to replay it, but I saw Tuesday and then they put the camera on Rod. Look at that. He's not dead.
He's not dead. He looks great. He looked great.
Also, Robert Englund, that was his real wife with him.
Was it? Oh,
yes.
They're getting the spouses in. I love this, Wes. You bring the real deal.
Yeah, so I love that. And of course, I know you didn't pay attention, but you know me. I brought it up twice already, which I probably am wrong. That was our same minister.
Was it really? Hot priest? Minister, whatever?
No, I'm kidding. It wasn't him.
Oh my God, I was going to say. I know, 'cause I
Can you
didn't pay
imagine if they
attention.
had gotten him again?
To make that even better, I mean, it probably would have been more expensive and everything, but wouldn't you have loved a Dream Warrior? Throw Kincaid in there. Like one here, one from all generations of Freddy would have been great. Oh my God, just to pause for a minute, I did mention last week again that one of the spin-off ideas, or Freddy's Dead, was going to be the Dream Police, Rob, where Kincaid is the police of Force, Tyron, whatever her name is, I always get it wrong, is Taryn, and Joey is the voice cop, and they were going to patrol dreams for Freddy. Instead of Freddy's, the one we got, would have loved that. The coffin scene in this movie is epic, I think, because it's horrifying for Heather, it's horrifying for the kid, Dylan, and in general, and then the whole falling in the ground, and then, oh my God.
Well,
and
we
then
also
Freddy.
got just a little smidge of humor, because I can probably say with confidence that when the preacher was like, "And may you all make it home safe," that was
much.
that was a funny line, because like we got to still deal with all these damn earthquakes. Like
I did laugh my ass off.
That was a moment of lividity, like, just take a, not make it so tense. Let's level it out. Let's balance it a little bit. I thought that was so funny. I don't even know if it was intended to be funny, but like,
okay, I was going to say, was it intended? Because I laughed my ass off.
That line was great. That line was great.
May he rest in peace, children, and may you all get home safely.
We see that the husband, he falls asleep, which I think is genius, driving home on the road.
I'm coming home. I'll be there in 3 hours.
But what was up? This was part of my notes to ask you. What was up with Freddy's blade coming through the seats, but then caressing the tip of his jeans too? Though, like he put that tip of the knife right on that jean. I was like, "What is going on?" But that made me laugh too. I don't know if it was supposed to.
No, Chase was like, "If I'm gonna do this movie, you have to put a camera on my bulge. I need people to know it's big."
Rub it with Freddy's finger, evidently.
Yeah.
So that I had to call attention to, because I don't know. The son, we mentioned him. Can I say the stuff of real nightmares is, as a child, thinking something's gonna get your legs?
Rex keeps him down there.
Who?
The mean old man with the claws. He wants to come up while we sleep. They keep my feet up here. Rex keeps him down there. He's my guard.
This is so real, Rob. This is so real. He puts his Tyrannosaurus Rex plush at the bottom, and he puts his feet up. Every child has probably done this at one point in their life. Traumatizing. I felt like that, and especially when we finally see that Rex gets sliced.
Yeah.
Woo!
Dylan, man. Oh, goodness. Miko, I just want to, or is it Miko or Miko? I think it's Miko. I've always said Miko Hughes, but I could be wrong.
Miko Hughes. I think I've said that too, actually.
He is amazing. I just think for a child actor not to get messed up in the head with all of this horror stuff.
You're right.
And also have a love for the genre as well. He could have easily been like, "Oh yeah, I'm a scream queen and I'm all in these movies, but I hate horror. I don't want to watch it. It scares me." Like, he embraces it. And I just think he can act. Like, I just like the way, as a child actor, I just like his delivery on things. One scene in particular is when mom's reading him the story and he demands that she reads the rest of it. And he was like, he grabs her arm, "Please, it's important." I was like, oh,
yes.
Say how they find their way back home.
Tomorrow night.
No, tonight. It's important.
Dylan, you know as well as I do. They followed the trail of breadcrumbs back to their house.
And then their father covered them with kisses and they were safe.
They were safe and they could sleep.
Just that whole thing. And then he does his monologue where he does it in this voice. He's like in a trance and he just reads the rest of the story. So good. And as we can get annoyed or complain about the repetitiveness of his screaming and his his dreams and sleepwalking or whatever, the kid delivered every single time.
Every time that Freddy voice came out, I'm like, this kid is giving me creepy.
He even handled the mannerisms of the nails. Like, I don't know. For me,
with his butter knife nails,
right? I was like, how did he tape it so well? He did a really good job. So
At
good.
what point, though, does Heather, speaking of that moment, Rob, does Heather regret all of her life decisions leading up to that point? Like her child is dressed like Freddy Krueger going, oh.
Well, that's the other thing, too. It's like when you have a child and you're exposed to all of this like horror stuff. Like, I love the fact how everyone immediately was like, yeah, you let him watch the movies, don't you? Like, you're just a horrible mother. And we never
I love that commentary, though, as horror actress, like embracing it, and also like people going, oh, you must let your children watch those horrible movies, you know? Like, I like that commentary.
Do you have any idea who that man is, Miss Langenkamp?
I forgot to bring his dinosaur Rex. He keeps Freddy from coming up out of his...
The man from your films? Freddy Krueger? With the claws? Is that who he's afraid of?
We never find the source of how he sees them all. I can guarantee you they're not in the house. I can guarantee.
That wasn't a VHS?
Never.
That wasn't a VHS?
No. I mean, at one point, the TV was even unplugged. There is absolutely no way that movie was in that. They couldn't have been. Maybe Chase, but like, sorry. For him to have access, it's just not, for me, it's just not. I personally don't think they were in the house. I don't know how she was so chill about it. I would have been like,
chill about a lot of things in this movie. Honestly, I would have been freaked out by.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that she really didn't get too much of a chance to mourn her husband. She was very chill, but like we didn't bring him up at all. Like, did we even get a conversation about explaining that dad's gone?
No, and that's what I like. They both moved on pretty darn well.
I mean, they had other things to worry about, but I mean, it's just interesting how quickly they were to just kind of like move on from the dad. I mean, sure, but yeah.
So he does, by the way, Dylan, our actor, Miko, he played Gage in Pet Sematary 1989 and Aaron in Full House 1990 to 1995.
Do not forget, I don't know the year, but he was also in Spawn. That was sort of his...
in Spawn, the movie that will never be remade because they've been talking about making Spawn again since that one.
I think they're finally making a move on it again.
The world of horror films suffered its own terror today as two of Hollywood's best-known special effects technicians were found dead in a vacant field. Terrence Feinstein and Charles Wilson, two special effects artists reputedly working on a top-secret project for the makers of the Freddy Krueger films, were found brutally slashed to death early this morning.
The look, actually, of Freddy in this movie. What is your... And I love that they made Freddy, and supposedly the real life demon Freddy essence different. The claw is kind of like
the claw. I love it. The claw. There you go. That's good.
Freddy! Who? Freddy Krueger or something?
The claw was kind of like Bane from Batman, like those tubes that go into like the hand. It's metallic, it's robotic. What is your take on this look?
I was gonna ask you what your thought was on the glove. So I actually do appreciate this look, and when I first saw this movie, I was confused because yes, he is sort of, I guess, upgraded, but I didn't understand the new look because I thought we were dealing with the Freddy from the movies.
Yes.
And so why the different look? Where is this happening? And like, it is supposed to happen this way because what we're looking at is not Freddy at all. We are not dealing with Freddy from the movies. We are dealing with an entire different demon entity. Something demonic is the villain of this movie. It's just taking the shape of Freddy with a 90s modern sort of take. And so once that really like ingrained
Great
in my
point.
head, that gave me more of an appreciation to his look. And I just want to say that we may have gotten less Freddy in this movie, but we got more of Robert Englund in this. And
yes,
let me tell you, I love the decision of having him in the movie more.
I agree.
Such a great idea. It was so much fun having him play himself, let alone just him out of the makeup and just really be a part of this story.
What about his first scene too, Rob?
I know.
Introducing himself as character. That was genius.
It was,
I think.
it was,
Do lunch?
It was like really watching somebody just like ride a bike again. Like it just, every single mannerism, the way he was just sort of like tiptoeing and creeping, waving his hands to the audience. It just felt so like organic. Like this is seriously in his DNA.
With Dylan, does that change your feeling, your perspective about horror movies?
No, not really.
I mean, would you let him see one of your movies?
My son? No.
I'm sure people ask you this all the time. Is there going to be another sequel? And what's more, is Freddy really dead?
Of course he is. Freddy's dead and gone.
And how about your co-star in the original, in Nightmare 1? Would you trust him alone with Dylan?
Robert? I don't know.
You know what? Why don't we ask him how he'd feel about it? We've got a big surprise for you, Heather, and for our audience. Let's bring him out. He is the best of the bad. Let's say hello to Robert Englund. Love you, babe. Lunch.
But what I love about it, as you mentioned, is that they made sure that his design on the talk show was exactly how it is in the films, while this new entity had a completely different look. And I love that they made sure that they were different. That. So different. So his new look, we've got the long coat, which, oh my God, with the collar up makes it so good.
I love that look.
He's got the knee-high boots. Amazing. I don't know how he tied them. Hopefully he tied them before he put on the hand.
Oh, shoot.
But like skinny, tight leather pants. He's got a green fedora instead of the brown one. And his sweater is different. Did you notice the black lining?
Yes.
I just noticed that for the first time. I did not notice the black lining in his sweater before. It is not just red and green. It has black in it. Like, amazing.
It's such a great redesign. It's like you said, it would be the 90s redesign if they made a reboot in the 90s.
Sure. I am going to assume that he could have requested less time in the chair to explain sort of, I mean, honestly. But I do love his new makeup. It was creepy. I want to say they patted him a little bit. Did he look a little?
He looked buff.
He did look a little buff, you know, in the outfit. But it was creepier. It was modern. I really enjoyed his new look. But the hand, I'm a little back and forth. I'm not completely sold. I do love that it's all 5 fingers, though. I do love that.
I do too. I think it's smarter to have all 5.
And he used his hand a lot more in this movie than when he did in previous. Like, oh, I was so happy. And just the whole, you know, pull back of his arms above his head. All of that. He did that so many times, and I loved every minute of it. Every second. It was good. So I really do enjoy his new look.
So just to have the callbacks, we do get a few I noticed. In the original one and this one, we start with a glove being made, you know, being built. We have Freddy on the phone with the tongue later on. Screw your past.
Do you have a pass? Screw your pass.
The gray hair as well.
The cut on the arm.
The cut on the arm, furnace.
There were definitely callbacks. I mean, when she was sleeping and he came out of the bed.
Freddy's arms stretching out.
Oh, yes,
like,
yes.
I thought long. So, I mean, honestly, Rob, to me, this is the best way to remake a film without remaking it. Again, just to call back to how genius this film is, it's like a reboot giving you the nostalgia of the original one, but still giving you something new. I think so genius.
Yeah.
Like, not to copy it, but if other franchises almost did, I guess, Scream and done things like this. But if other franchises have done like a movie being filmed, but also it's happening, I love it. I just think it's genius.
The best callback, though, out of all of that is our nurse Lin Shaye coming back.
Oh my god.
You know what I would have loved, though? I would have loved this. I wish they had done this, because Lin Shaye is Bob Shaye's sister. So it's just like, wouldn't it have been amazing if Lin Shaye was Lin Shaye and her acting career didn't work, so she became a nurse?
Oh my god, that would have been, oh my god.
Like, yeah, I showed up as a cameo playing a teacher. I tried to start my acting career.
God.
I never appeared in any other Freddy movies, and so I just became a nurse.
Oh my god.
I would have loved her to play herself. I would have loved it so much.
Yes. Wait, hold on.
Right?
That would have been hysterical. Another funny moment. Did you like Freddy's liquor Resident Evil tongue?
Oh,
God. My
I
god.
know. That was disgusting. The way it wrapped around her face. Ooh, that was so gross. That was so gross. Yeah, this movie was definitely darker. A lot of heavier, creepier moments in this movie for sure. One big one was, speaking of the tongue, you know, they did the callback of the phone thing. But did you hear what he said when he answered the phone?
Remind me, because...
Yeah, right before that tongue comes out of the phone, he goes, "I touched him."
Oh, no.
Yeah, that was interesting. But
oh wow, that really makes a real life, like, shoot.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what that meant, but I mean, it definitely stayed true to his demonic nature of it all, taking on this role. They don't officially say exactly what the demon is.
It's not those 3 sperm demons, as David calls them from the last movie.
Yeah, we just know that it's ancient, it's really, really old, and when it sees something that is just so real and demonic and you know, evil, just bad, it's going to take the form, and it's because we killed him that he was able to come out. And
you lie, look what you did.
But it's just also the fact that this demon is so delulu that he really likes the story of Freddy and its character, that he is just gonna when they have their reunion and he calls her Nancy.
Yes.
Oh my! Like, he really was just he was the ultimate fan, basically.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
Just
right.
Wanting to relive the entire thing, because
Miko
possessed calls her Heather. So I mean, he is aware that Freddy isn't real, but he, in that moment, he was like, "I'm gonna call you Nancy, bitch. Like, you Nancy today."
He's living his dream.
He is living his dream. But yeah, I do.
So he is the stalker. Then he's such a fan of these movies. He's living his fan moment.
Pretty much.
He paid the $55 to take the picture with Heather at the con.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, the demon takes form of the darkest creation of humanity's imagination of an era. So technically, this is our fault that we did this. We created this fandom of Freddy, making him so real and big. Like, this demon had no choice but to choose him as a form in whatever story he's locked in. And so this probably explains why we kept getting shitty sequels, because they had to keep coming out. They had to keep coming out. If they didn't do it, then we would have released this demon.
Thankful now for that last movie. They was trying to save our lives, Rob.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
yeah, it took me a couple of times for that to really sink in with me. But yeah, we were just dealing with this whole new entity, and I think, like, down to his lair and even the way that he killed, it was very gruesome. And you know, I will never forgive Freddy the way he took out Julie.
Oh my god! Another callback, right? Climbing on the roof, the ceiling
of the thing. That reveal was such an amazing shot. The way he just appeared behind her like that, making sure that he doesn't fall asleep. Like, I just like his stance, his pose, like everything was just so creepy. And the way that he would stare Dylan down. Oh, it was just, yeah, it was heavy for me. But can I just say that, Julie, we stan you, girl. If you are listening to this episode, let me just say, you are the best babysitter in the game. I don't think
Yes,
anybody, Jamie Lee Curtis might beat you, but honestly, you are up there. You are at least top 3. You are Mount Rushmore of babysitters. I'm not kidding you. Julie was not to be played with.
That was so good to have. Yeah, and she got taken out, unfortunately.
She's not even a permanent au pair, and this woman was so embedded in her. Let me just talk about how iconic this woman is.
Stay out.
I don't know exactly what was going on in her own life, but for her attending the funeral of Chase, to her going to the hospital to visit Dylan without even telling Heather about it, and then
I appreciated that. Mm-hmm.
Also, her heavy protection of him with the nurses. Tell me she did not get an applause in your theater if you watched it. We got, applause for days. We loved how tough this woman was. The fact that she would not let a nurse close to him, and even though they tricked her, she punched
those tricky nurses. They loved it too.
The crap out of those.
Oh
nurses.
my god!
And then threatened another one with a needle.
Hey, you can't do that! Well, I know what's in that one. Do you have any idea what's in this one? Or what's gonna happen to you when I stick you with it? And I will.
Even when she was being attacked by Freddy, she still said, Dylan, get out of here.
Yeah.
Iconic. And then asked for help. Oh my God. I was in the theater and I was like, no, not Julie. I was so angry.
There's a moment when you think there's a possibility she could live, but then Heather had to suffer in this movie. That was worse than the husband.
I was so mad. And can I just say, these nurses are hell on
smug face.
The nurse claiming when she was like, oh, she probably doesn't ever let him sleep at home. And I'm like, first of all, you said it louder so I can hear you. You know you want to be. Who in the hell would say that in front of the actual girl, and then had the nerve to have a smug face when they tricked Julie with the needle? I was like, you are disgusting. I was so mad that she wasn't the one that didn't get punched in the face. Those two were disgusting. To even have tactics like that and she did you see how hard she poked Dylan with that needle?
She wasn't gonna miss. She was not gonna miss. She's like, one and done.
It was horrible. So pissed. I was so pissed off about that. I hated that crap. But one of the other scariest moments I thought was Dylan trying to be taken by God. That was a heavy scene for me. Especially I cannot imagine being a mom and having to witness that.
First off, again, you've mentioned this in other movies. You're like, no one else has noticed this kid climbing up.
Yeah.
To the top and holy
I'd have sued the park. I'd have sued the town. City Hall would have had to pay millions. The fact that kid was able to climb through that whole structure and also that door. Why?
Nope.
How was that window open? How was he able to get up? That is wild to me.
That was a wild moment. And yes, real life scare. Especially, oh my God, as a parent, holy crap.
Honey, are you all right? Are you sure?
God wouldn't take me.
It's unbelievable.
So what is your take on this end? You mentioned it, the script, right? The script with Wes's little corner note. She's reading it at the end. We're reading the pages and they're acting it out. So even as we're ending, meta again. What's happening? What is real? What is not?
Is it a story?
Yeah, it's a story.
Read me some.
We open on an old wooden bench. There's fire and tools, and a man's grimy hands building what soon is revealed as a gleaming set of claws. And the claws are moving now, as if awakening from a long and unwanted sleep. Then the man lays one trembling hand flat upon the table, and with his other picks up a thick, sharp blade. Behind the lights, faces watch from the darkness, ready to laugh or scream in terror.
I think that once she reads it, they're either in a time loop or he reads, or I guess the moment that you read a story, that is making it very official that he's locked in. So
yes,
let's begin this gatekeeper, as you will, of her locking him in the story by reading it to her son. That's how I'm taking it. But let me just say, my geek little heart, the moment that John starts transitioning into Donald, the cop.
Oh, that was so good.
My heart started pounding so hard. I was alert. I was woke. I was grinning ear to ear. Like, I was so excited for this. And it just, like, why are you calling me John? I was like, oh, it's cool. It's happening. And then he starts climbing out of the bed, which is also a callback.
Don't start losing it like your mother did. I love you, sweetheart. Don't forget that.
I love you too, Daddy.
But it's also him waiting. Like, are we going to do this or what? Like, this is it. Like, I need you to lock in. Are we about to do this or not? So he waits for her confirmation. And, you know, he turns into the cop. The cop car is there. And she is like, oh, we're doing this. And she had to make a choice. And she says, Daddy. When that happened and he comes out of the bed, the music is happening. The camera's got him just in full form. He's doing the Nosferatu shadow thing.
The Nosferatu.
And then to top it all off, like, she's in her pajamas. She turns around, and that face, you could see in her face, she was terrified because the house came back.
With the weird door color.
With the original door color.
Yeah.
The bars on the windows. And then they played the music. Oh my God. Like, you could not, like, movie over. Done. I could have just walked out because that was the perfect ending for me.
Honestly, though, what would have made this top 5 and a 5.5 stars is if the actress who played Marge had to light the cigarette to play the role. Like, that's how it switched, that she was back, the vodka came up, and the cigarette. That would have been like, and the nightgown, and Mommy killed him.
Goosebumps, man. That scene was so perfect. So perfect.
So good.
Oh, I love it. And John Saxon playing Daddy again was just awesome to see. Seeing them together, just the fatherly structure that he still has in her life, which I want to say is also in real life. I just liked his involvement in the movie. I just think he played just him getting the call in bed and he rushes over. It's just so good. It's just so good. But John, when he's like, Jesus, when he falls off the thing, he's just like, I have never in my life seen some shit like this. Your kid's crazy. But
this is the parenting you have, Heather?
I know.
This is how you are.
Dylan's like, God wouldn't take me. I was like, Dylan, trust me, he was going to take you. You just needed to fall first.
Heather took the most of that blow,
That's
right?
What I'm saying. It was like Heather's the one that stopped you from going to God. He was trying to take you. He just wasn't going to do it in a pleasant way. He's going to do it the real way. But I'm satisfied with the reasoning for the demon.
Me too.
Resurrecting Freddy. I am happy with how it ended. I will say there is a little bit more to be desired with the final battle. A lot did happen. I really don't want to crap over that. I just wanted just a little bit of a change of scenery to just do a little bit of old school Freddy magic, her jumping from location to location, maybe a boiler room situation. I don't know. Okay, him burning in the furnace just seemed a little too anticlimactic for me.
He kind of just went in there too willingly too. He didn't even try to get out. It was weird.
But I mean, he definitely gave her something to do. It was just more of like, you tried to slice her the whole movie, and then when we get down there, you're just throwing her against walls the whole time. Dylan had his part. He came through. I don't know. There was just something more that I wanted from that part, but I do like how it wrapped.
They'd like to see us together again.
In what, a romantic comedy?
In 2023, there was a fan-made movie called Dylan's New Nightmare. It's a sequel, and we got our Dylan back, looking really good in this movie.
I believe that when this comes out the following Monday, the 31st, I think it's either Sunday or Monday. I think it might be no, it's Sunday. It is Sunday. It's Sunday, August 31st. It will be the second year anniversary of Dylan's Nightmare.
2023 feels like so close, but now so far at the same time in a way.
Sure.
So I'm seeing that this is also supposed to be a sequence of shorts. I wonder if that's why Heather wasn't involved yet. You know, they had her
It
like
could
kind of
be.
like off
There was
screen.
not a ending to this, if you will.
Yes.
And that is something that I didn't know when I did watch it the first time. I thought it was decent. I thought the production value was there. I even thought that Freddy's look was actually pretty good.
I liked it too, but my question is, if this is New Nightmare, shouldn't he got, okay, the trench coat later on, but the glove was not New Nightmare at all.
No, and you know, to be authentic in that point of view, like I am okay with, you know, disbelief or whatnot. Like I'm cool with that. I don't need all of those little details for it to be authentic, because first of all, it's not produced by New Line. So to even be able to use the authentic glove in that way, I probably wouldn't even have permission to do so. But even if they did, I don't care. It's a short film. I am not looking at Miko Hughes, to come up with the best short horror film of all time. Like, I was curious as to what vision he had for the story and how to continue it, and I thought he did a good job. Thank you, Miko, for just having the fact that you had to take off your shirt at some point. It didn't need to be in it, but you did it, and I'm happy. Thank you. Because
it could have been a little longer though if I were to critique.
Oh my god! Yeah, he looked great, but not a bad short film. I didn't mind the dream sequences. I was actually really surprised he was able to have the product placement in there. Like
Angry Orchard Apple.
I know, right? No, but Apple showed up. There was another beer company that showed up. I think there was one other one that really stood out, and I was like, I didn't know that you were able to have them in short films.
Sponsors.
Yeah, because I can watch Disney stuff and have that crap covered. They always cover the labels with stuff. So I was surprised that was allowed, but not a bad film. I do like how it ended. I don't think that was Heather's voice.
No, but it sounded
It really did.
enough.
Yeah, it did.
Maybe they're leaving it open for a sequel, and I thought this was really cool. The therapist is played by Cynthia Mania, who was from Jason Lives in 1986. She played a character called Annette. She's the one who was impaled on the motorcycle with her boyfriend. So check that out, Radical Ones. We'll put the link in the description box.
Yeah, it's 34 minutes. I think that it dives a little bit into sort of mental illness. There is talk and thoughts of like suicide, how it manifests from dreams, possibly into the real world. I don't think that he contemplated suicide, but he was definitely going through some stuff. And, you know, we find out the mom also is going through some stuff too. And so she probably has the room next to Nancy, the other Nancy.
Can you imagine?
I know. Oh goodness. Yeah, I appreciate it. I like that Miko decided to kind of keep this legacy alive. Maybe he is the next gatekeeper to make sure that Freddy doesn't come out. Ooh. I mean, seriously. I mean, even in metaform, like we got to keep going. We need more Freddy stuff. We got to keep going. I do want to bring up one thing. This kind of just goes back into New Nightmare, is our receptionist at New Line who did not recognize Heather. Can I just say that she is a goddess? She is a goddess. I love her. Look, I'm sorry, Heather, I love you, but not everybody knows who you are. And this woman has a job to do.
Can I help you? I'm here to see Bob Shea. Was Bob expecting you? Heather. Hi. Sarah, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Great to see you.
You look great.
Thank you.
Bob is dying to see you.
Can I get you something to drink? Coffee'd be fine.
Spoken from experience, she looked her up and down and was like, is he expecting you? Do you have an appointment? And Heather was genuinely pissed. I'm like,
do you know who I am?
Thank you. I was like, girl, first of all, you better go up to the receptionist, introduce yourself. If you don't know the receptionist, then they don't know you.
Exactly.
I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care.
You didn't want car with that woman.
Unless you know who the receptionist is, they don't know you. You introduce yourself. You do not walk into an establishment thinking you can just walk past the gate. They are there for a reason. I've been a receptionist for the longest time. Don't play with me. And I'll do it just to mess around. Even if I know who you are, you better tell me who you are. You are going to show respect to my name and my title. You are not to walk through. I cannot stand that. Because here's the thing. If my job is to stop everyone from walking through and I don't do my job, are you kidding me?
Right.
Heather was pissed. I was, girl, humble yourself. I don't care. I don't care who you are. Is he expect goddess? She's a goddess. I don't care. She had enough confidence to be like, I don't know you. Are you on my list? Because you ain't on the list.
That's why the new line guy had to come out. He had to break that up.
And this also says a lot about managers. If you're a manager and you're listening to this, I want you to listen very carefully because you, first of all, do not give receptionists their due.
A heads up or anything?
Exactly. They do not get their dues. You don't pay them well. You don't treat them well. You also give them information at the last minute and they end up looking like fools and getting looks like Heather gives her, okay? Inform the front desk that you are expecting this woman to come to the office.
Heather Langenkamp at 5.
Rude.
Maybe even earlier, too.
Rude. I just had to bring that up. She's a goddess. God bless her. I would have done the same thing. I also have other stories from like family members who also stopped CEOs from walking through. If you don't want to get to know, if you don't want to get to know your company, then we don't know you either.
Oh my God. Undercover boss. We need this. We need to do this episode with Rob. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I honestly, this to me was the perfect ending of the original run of Freddy. Freddy versus Jason, yes. But that still could be in its own world too. We don't even know. Every movie, we have no idea. I am so glad that this, after Freddy's dead, this is so refreshing. So refreshing, Rob.
I agree.
And so good. So good.
I agree. I totally agree. And it also kind of sucks in a way too. This movie gives us sort of a little bit of a view about how fans are with this. Yeah. We get the good and the bad. I mean, we love the appreciation of fans who love this movie, right? And love the character. But then we also see that this movie could change people, like Englund just sort of declining in a way on what he ended up turning into, the prank calls, the also just being harassed.
I'm sure this happens all the time.
Yeah. But just also like even visiting the set and just the kid having to like witness some of that stuff, I love the fact that Heather was like, the cleaver to the hand is when I want to cover my kid's eyes. You didn't see that coming? Are you kidding me? What were you watching?
She wasn't watching him because the same thing. We're going back to the playground.
Yeah, we get a little bit of the good of the bad. I can only imagine Heather's life or any actor's life who has to kind of like deal with obscene fans who take this too seriously and just constantly being harassed almost in a very horrific way as if they enjoy these scares. Like that kind of sucks in a way, but we just love it. But that whole fandom of the talk show and everything was really good too.
Again, being called Nancy or you're that girl. Yeah, I'm sure that's so.
That reunion in the closet was just, oh my God.
Oh yeah, the closet.
I love me. It's such a good reunion. I love a good reunion so much. The way he used to miss me. Oh my God, that was in the trailer and I was just so happy. But that whole thing of him like tackling her on the bed, all of that was callback. I just loved that sequence so much. It was so good.
And the fact that everyone involved was so into it. The chef's kiss
it's just almost better than our H2O reunion. That to me is still the best shot reunion. of that door thing when they're looking at each other. That is still the best reunion ever. This one,
we got some good ones in the 90s.
Yeah, we
actually.
did. Yes,
yeah,
we
that's
did.
so true. Actually, H2O, really good.
The only thing for me is like, sorry, Dylan, I would have mourned you. Sorry, you would have been dead. The fact that she had to swallow those pills in order to enter the dream world.
What
I'm not swallowing a damn. I can't swallow pills. Sorry, I would have had mourned my kid. You're dead.
Okay, it's the breadcrumbs they're leaving, but I'm like, are those sleeping pills? Are you gonna overdose, Heather?
Right.
That's what I kept saying.
You know that show on YouTube, how the movie should have ended. It would have ended me being like, I can't swallow these pills. I would have been sitting in a chair trying for my life, trying to swallow them and choking, and meanwhile Dylan's just getting stabbed to death. I'm sorry.
They're also in the bed on the floor.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I was like, I'm sorry.
So, Rob, what activity did you bring this week for our Nightmare Summer?
Okay, so for this week's game, I am going to ask Ryan. This is a very common sort of fun challenge that I've seen online. And I think there's an actual board game of this now. But have you heard of the game He's a 10?
He's a 10, but
yes,
he looks like something.
Exactly. So I am going to ask Ryan in the same structure of he's a 10, and then Ryan is going to rate this person whether a 10 or 1 or anywhere in between. So and these will be
okay, I'm ready.
People from the movie, so we'll see how Ryan would rate them.
Shoot.
Okay. She's a 6, but she also has the same life as Heather in the movie.
Oh.
So just think about what Heather just went throughout this whole thing. She's a 6, but she has the same life as Heather. Now, what is she?
She's a 3. I don't know if I can handle that. I'm sorry. I don't want to do you like that, Heather. But
She's
or
a 3.
unnamed 6.
Yeah. She's a 3. Okay. Ooh. Hold on. I actually want to record these. Okay, so you rate her a 3. Okay, next one. She's a 5, but babysitting is her main and only job.
Oh, well, if she's like this babysitter, she's a 10.
So she's a 10. You're dating this woman and she's a babysitter this whole time. Like, that is her only job, babysitting.
She's like a professional babysitter. I'm giving her.
I just said babysitting is her main job. That's all I said.
Main job. Okay, you know what? That might interrupt, though, when you want to go on a date, because all these people are going out and you're babysitting. A 7.
A 7. Okay. All right. He's a 7. But puts your life in danger, forcing you to play a part you didn't agree to.
Oh. He's a 7. I wonder what Rob thinks is a 7. Because then if it's a 7, the danger might be worth it. Okay. He's a 7. Okay, so let me think. You're a 4.9. I don't know if I'm taking danger.
Okay.
No. If you were a 9,
okay,
might have been talking.
Okay. He's an 8, but constantly gaslights you that Freddy isn't real.
Oh, that would annoy the hell out of me. Oh, but he's an 8. Okay, so now Freddy isn't real. I don't know if I could take that, but he's an 8. Mr. 8, now you're going to be down to...
I mean,
if
6.9.
6.9.
I mean, if you think that's okay, he can also stay an 8. He doesn't go up or down either.
Is that his one flaw? Okay, if that's his one flaw, he doesn't believe my.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's his one flaw. He is an 8, but
yeah, that's gonna say that's pretty.
But if you're
good.
Okay with this, then it doesn't bring his value down.
You know what? No, you're right. I'm gonna 7. He's a 7.
He's a 7. Okay, all right. She's a 10. She is a bombshell. She's a 10. She also has the best personality, all that. She's a 10. but she has no idea who Heather Langenkamp is.
Oh my god. Well, if she's the receptionist, she's staying at 10, evidently. No, it's a stoking. Ooh.
Are you dating somebody who doesn't know who Heather Langenkamp is?
That means, honestly, probably means we have nothing in common. So you become an 8.
Okay. All right. He's a 4, but you find out he plays horror icon Freddy Krueger.
And he wears leather pants and knee-high boots. Oh, and I gotta tell you, Robert I love the way he speaks about things. He's like an 8.9. Because Robert is so sweet.
Okay, here's the last one. He's a 9, but he wears sweaters, leather, and a long wool coat with a hat in LA weather.
Ooh, the hat might be the killer of this whole look. Ooh, he's an 8?
He's a 9.
Oh, he's a 9.
He wears all of those hot ass clothes in LA weather.
He's staying a 9 only because then if it's so hot, he'll have to remove them at some point. But the hat actually, you know what? No, I have to take something off of the hat. I don't know why the hat's throwing me.
Okay.
Out of the whole look, 8.5 for the hat.
Yeah, that's all that I had.
Radical ones in your life. Did you ever think that Rob would come up with that with Freddy? I love it. And what would we be, radical ones, to you on your scale of being a podcast? I hope a 10. Maybe Freddy Ted was a 5.5. I don't know. You tell us. But radical ones, with that was another episode of the podcast. We hope you could swallow those pills because we're back for more next week with Freddy's Nightmares.
We are also going to finally reveal the recommendations that I have for this franchise.
Yes.
And we will give full rankings each of the Freddy franchise as well. We will rank them from best to least favorite. You're going to get a lot of information next week.
I have so many thoughts. And that includes Freddy versus Jason, right?
That does include Freddy versus Jason. Yes.
Yeah, you'll have to go back to that one, radical ones, to our first summer. You can also find Rob at, when he's not hanging out over here,
Rob the Movie Geek on Instagram. It is all one word. Check me out on there for previous recommendations as well as a few archived movie reviews that I have on Letterboxd.
As well as the Radical Retro Rewind podcast, one word, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and beyond. Rob, thank you so much. This was, again, refreshed my taste in Freddy. I'm actually excited to watch Freddy's Nightmare episodes because I've only seen random ones over the years. So this is
I haven't seen. Yeah, I think I have little memory of the pilot, and I don't think I ever really officially watched this. And if I did, I get it confused with Monsters, so I don't know which episode is which because it was all the same type of show, right? 13th, all of those. Yeah, like who knows what I watched.
Yeah, exactly. Anthology. Every episode's a different. Yeah, we continue the summer with that, and as always, stay radical. Bye-bye.
Bye.